Hello, good morning. My name is Patrick Sema, and today we have a meeting with the Acme leadership team whereby we are going to discuss the concepts which can affect our global business. So we are going to describe how each term or concept can affect our global business, and we'll be explaining why each of those terms poses a potential risk or even benefit to our going into global business. So the terms we're going to cover are three. There is exchange rates, there is trade barriers, and there is also labor. So without taking much time, let's go ahead with exchange rates, So exchange rate is the value of one currency for the purpose of conversion to another. So as we want to go global in our business, it means that we shall need to import raw materials and export goods to different countries. So I'm going to show you how the exchange rate will play an important role in doing that. We'll start with depreciation or devaluation. This is a situation when our currency's value has diminished or has gone low when you are converting them to another currencies. For example, if our US dollar is converting to maybe 900 Ghanaian francs, then if our US dollar is now converting to 800, then it has devalued or it has lost its value of 100 Ghanaian francs. So when our currency has depreciated, it will make exports cheaper, and that will benefit us when we are doing our trade globally. Because the consumers of our products from the countries we export to will find our products cheaper. That's one benefit when our currency has devaluated. And the risk might be that the raw materials will be expensive to us, and that will increase the costs of production. So it means that if you are maybe importing like pyrethrum from Rwanda to manufacture different products, then our currency has lost its value compared to the Rwandan franc. Then it means that we are going to buy things in Rwandan franc which has a greater value, and then that is going to be costly to us. So it means raw materials will be expensive for us. There is also a situation when there is appreciation. That's when our currency is now highly valued when you are converting it to another currency. So when it has increased its value, then our exports are going to be more expensive. Because the people who buy our products from our country, they are going to have to pay much dollars compared to what they used to pay. And that, yes, it means that exports are going to be expensive. So that would reduce the competitiveness of our products in the country we export to, because they might seek for other alternatives because their products are now expensive. So, but at least in that instance, raw materials will be cheaper because your currency is a bit devalued and ours has appreciated, so we have a lot of money. Then the raw materials are going to be cheaper for us. Another concept I'm going to tackle is trade barriers. So trade barriers are government-imposed restraints on the flow of international goods or services. This might be done for a number of reasons, and one being the government of the importing country wanting to protect its domestic manufacturers. They might impose those barriers to trade. So for example, if USA were to impose trade barriers to foreign companies which produce the similar products as Acme produces, in effect, that would increase the price of imports it would discourage their demand, and it would insulate domestic producers like Acme to a degree from foreign competition. And as a result, that would enhance our development, and it would prompt us to even increase our exports abroad. So that's how trade barriers, if they are imposed in our country where we are in USA, that's how they will be beneficial to us. But otherwise, the countries we intend to export might have the following barriers, which might increase the costs to us as suppliers and our consumers that we want to export our goods to. Those barriers might be quotas, boycotts, licenses, standards and regulations, local content requirements, restrictions on foreign investment, domestic government purchasing policies, exchange controls, and subsidies. So those types of fees can discourage buyers from purchasing our products. Therefore, it might have a negative financial impact on us, like the loss of revenues, because we are not selling the products to those customers, because they are not buying them, because they have become expensive due to the barriers taken by the government. Another concept I would like to tackle is labor. Labor refers to productive activity which is done with the purpose of making an economic gain. Labor also means the people who work or do such productive activities. There are certain countries with cheap labor like China. So it means and India, if you want to expand a business, of course you want to go global, then if you're going to China, it means you're going to save some money because labor there is cheaper, unlike USA or even France. So that, of course, is going to increase our revenues from the money we will have saved from labor budget. But however, some countries want to approach, like I was saying, like France, have expensive labor, and that will affect our business in that country. So as we are going to embark on global business, there are certain things we need to consider which might impact our business. Number one, culture differences. So we have to ask ourselves, what are the norms for communication and dealing with conflict in that country we want to operate in? What is the normal speed of business? How much of a caste system is there in the communication with the executives, managers, from top to bottom of the hierarchy? We need to consider that. Another thing we need to consider is organization. Are workers typically unionized? What is the relative power of the shop, local and national organization with respect to each other? How formal are procedures for work flexibility? Another thing we need to bear in our minds is schedule. How many hours in a typical work week? How much vacation per year? When is vacation scheduled typically? Those are the type of questions we need to consider and before we go to operate in those countries regarding labor. We also need to consider total cost of labor, the indirect expenses which are incurred with labor, benefits, housing, surveillance, and also benefits relative to domestic labor which are provided. Like, for example, work cost. Is there higher creativity? Is there craftsmanship or community activity? Or are the things that we need to consider before going to operate in another country. So thank you very much. I hope I've learned how these trade barriers, exchange rates, and labor can affect our business that we intend to do globally. Thank you very much.